Hey guys, Jim here, and welcome back to building Bucky Station. It has been a really long time, but we are back in business. Mainly the reason is I've been ill in my time off, and I've had exams, which are a pain in the ass. Anyway, other than the depressing stuff, let's get going. So you may hear I sound slightly different, which is good. I've got a new mic, which is a Blue Yeti. It's not the fancy edition, it's the standard one. And it cost me a lot of money, so hopefully it sounds really good. And yeah, that's pretty much news, I guess, other than me being ill, which isn't been fun. I think I'm on my 4th week of antibiotics, so it's quite illness, quite bad, so I might be sniffing a bit. But other than that, what we're going to do today is we're going to sort out the finalised timings for this, and hopefully get our 3x3 door in. Okay, we're going to get our 3x3 door in. We can do the 3x3 door so we can actually start using this as an entrance. So first off, what I'm going to do is what I'm doing now, is just boxing in the wiring, so I can now, I'm going to take this around because I want to use the minimum space possible. So that's going to be where my track comes out. I'll just break this. Now we need a turn track there. Right here, I've left this hole here because I'm patching up the hole there we left to find our place. And we're going to need this. We're going to need to find that later on. So, where is my rails? There they are. Lovely. Oh, that's glass. So, we're going to want to power this rail. Now, the ways you can do this is you can put a lever on the side, you can put a torch somewhere below it, or you can put a torch here, which is my personal favourite, or you can put it on a redstone block, because it also powers this, and I have OCD about tracks being off. They have to be on all the time, so I'm going to put one here as well. There we go. Always full on tracks everywhere. That's what I like. There we go. Now, I'm going to give it, let's think, 1, 2... Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. Let's see. Let me think. So what we've got to do is we've got to leave I'll do it here. So I'm going to put my torch here to power this second bit. And the reason I'm putting it there, not one further over, is because I don't want it to interact with this piston or the piston below it. So that's the closest I can do it. So I'm going to leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tracks, and then on the 5th track I'll put the redstone torch there, and then I will have a detector rail right here. So this detector rail is going to act just the same as the detector rail we had right here before I started, that we removed. And the reason we removed it was that it basically stuck out. We want it to be hugging around the side to make our station more compact. So we're going to finalise the timings. Now, I think I can hear myself getting a text with interference on my headphones. So I'm going to just wrap this wire around. I'm pretty much going to figure out where I want this. So when I go over my track, I want these will come down, but they will not necessarily come down for long enough. So let's say I go to the very end. So I come all the way to the end here. Then I'm obviously travelling a longer distance, so it's going to take a longer time. Now this comes into play as a problem, because if I only go over the track, and it, let's say, brings out a pulse of redstone for 5 seconds, it's not going to be 5 seconds, that's a massive, what's it called, exaggeration, but let's just say, for the sake of argument, it's 5 seconds, then I have 5 seconds to get to the end, and if I don't get to the end, these will suck up, and I will be screwed. So I'm going to need to add a pulse extender. Now, there's 2 ways to do this. You can either add a one-way T flip-flop, which is basically, this is what I use for larger stations, which is pretty much, oh god, 2 sets of pistons, like that, with a block in between. So when you'll go over your pressure plate, this will activate this piston, and then this will actually be a redstone block. Yeah, that's more accurate. So if I was going to do it in this way, I would do something like this. And then I'd have a repeater, and that going off to your line of whatever, and then another repeater here, another dot block there. This is a really long explanation. Okay, so what would basically happen is I would go over my detector rail, which would be right over here, and get a minecart and put it on. So go over my detector rail, and then once this turns on, I want to first off send this into here and here, so I connect the bottom layer to those 2 points, and then I'd have a delay with some repeaters going. So after that connects, I would have it come back round and have a little delay, 4 ticks, let's say. So then after my cart has passed, this will push itself back. You'll probably want to add a pulse limiter here as well. This is getting quite crowded for an explanation, but hopefully you get the drift. If you're really stuck and it's a massive one, if it's basically more than probably 25 your station, you'll want to use a system like this. And if you're completely stuck, just message me and I'll come and sort you out. I've got my new Uber station coming out, so you could probably look at. I use that system for the Uber station, so you could look at that. Now the one I'm going to use is just a repeater array. So I'm going to set up a repeater here on 4 ticks, and another one on 4 ticks. That should be enough. And then I'll put it there, and I'll put a block there. So I'm just there, and now I'm just going to lead this block upwards. A little staircase. I don't need that. And this will now have, on the first 1 tick after you go over the rail, it will come through and go up. And then 8 ticks after you go on the over the rail, 7 ticks later than this will power through to here. So more or less it will give a undivided current of much longer, or at least that's the idea. Now I'm also going to connect this over to here, and the signal should be able to reach. So let's see if we got this first time. Now for you're going to need a lot of tinkering. I've built this 15 station one a bunch of times, so hopefully I'll get it right first time. Come on, off we go. Oh, okay, so yeah, well that has told us it does it fast enough. So if you didn't work on the very first station, these pistons will have a too long response time, i.e. they'll be responding to your redstone, or your redstone has too many ticks. Now to change this, you'll either want to take down the amount of ticks on the first repeater, or you want to move this rail further back. So in my instance, if I didn't make that one, I can't do less than 1 tick, so I'll need to move this rail further backwards. Now at the moment, I think on the Xbox, for you guys on the Xbox, I think you need 7 rails, so you'd have your detector rail back there, if I'm correct. But hopefully that's correct. Now I've just tunneled out a path back to here. And now I'm just going to go change my station to the second last. The reason I'm going to use the second last is because if I don't use the second last, ooh, this is turned off. If I use the last station, I will know if I have a long enough time to get through all the stations, except I won't know if the glass and everything, sorry, there's that, not powered, whether the glass and rails are going in the right order. So you always want to test with the first or second and second last. I don't know if I get this, there we go. Let's go over, ooh, see, there you go, it's completely messed up. That is not what we want. Now, what I like to do in this circumstance is just put a minecart solidly on here and see what actually happens. So from the looks of this, the glass timing is all wrong, which doesn't look very encouraging. Oh god, that's a nightmare. Let me see what is going on here. Right, so theoretically all the stuff should be pushed out except for let me see, is there any on 2 ticks delay? Can't see any. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look over here now, because that seems as if the timing is slightly wrong. I'll just add a repeater in. That should work. Let's hope. So take this back. Let's see if it's fully reset itself. Yep, fully reset. And there we go. That's more like it. And now, if you want to watch this part, oh, did I not break it? Break. Okay, perfect. If you get glass getting stuck down the bottom, what you'll have done is you'll want to add another pulse extender to this section here, but you should be able to squeeze it in perfectly, like I have there. So if we give it another little test run, there we go, perfect, and that sucked up right as I got to the end, so that could be better timing. Now if I just break those and break that for the last, because we will be, oh, I missed a piston there, because we will be using this channel later on for our arrivals track. If I now break through, there we go, and now I've got that little channel I can come back to, and I might actually, I'll go to the other side and mark the channel there. Oh, something's there. There we go. That's more like it. So now onto the 3x3 door. This is very simple-ish. So I'm just gonna patch this up. Nice to know that you've finished a certain section. And then just do this. Oh no, that's too low. What am I doing? There we go. So 3x3 door. You can use one of your own design if you want to, but I'm going to do my design, which is pretty much inspired by Bucky. So I'm just going to find the middle of the station right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not a big enough station. That's not 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, maybe a bit much. Oh well. I'm gonna get OCD about this. I'll get this so it's a decent size, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, if you complain about that size again, I'm not listening to you anymore. I don't care. Right, I'm just going to, I'll put in a little window here. That looks a bit nice. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Now, this middle section is the 3 in the middle, and the reason we did 3 is because it's 3x3 door, and you want it positioned in the middle. So when the wall comes around, it will come around to there. Now, presuming you want your what they call pressure pads right here. I'm just going to clear my inventory first. Okay, let's get a whole new set of stuff out. So, well, I started well. So we'll have our pressure pads here. Now we're going to leave a space. The reason for this is because it will interact with our pistons if it's too close. So we're going to leave one block space and then there. So this is going to be the very opening of your station. This 3 wide is going to be the door. I'll just increase that. Okay. And that's going to be the opening for the door on the other side. So if I now get the stuff I need. So you're going to need redstone. You're going to need torches. You need computers and repeaters and comparators together. Block of redstone. You're gonna need a bunch of sticky pistons. What else do you need? You need a button. You will need some building blocks. Once you get some sandstone, and you're also gonna want some slabs. Slabs are very important. If you are building this on the Xbox and you cannot place redstone on slabs, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pretty much just go around instead of going vertically. That'll make sense later on. So I'm just going to figure out, I'll need my pistons right there. And that's cool. Right, so we start one block lower than this. So I'm just going to remove those bottom two just for now for space. That's just to figure out how big it is. Now, directly beneath this, you're going to have a block of redstone there and a piston. And you want to dust there. No, not a dust there. You want to repeater there. No, you want to dust there, repeater there, block like that. And that dust here is where everything is powered off. So I'm just going to put a repeater here and dig one down, put a sticky piston with a block and a dust there. Now that is our monostable circuit, so when we power this, it will provide a 1 tick pulse for this sticky piston to stick this out and edit our dust. And then, so it has a built-in T flip-flop, which is nice. Now I'm going to put a slab there. Now the two ways you can power this door is either by digging down and putting a dust there, in which case the dust is facing directly into this block, or you can not dig down there, but you can either dig down here and put a repeater, or put a repeater here and put a block there. For now I'm just going to leave this as a little hole, and I will do that in a second when I link up my pistons. My pressure plates. There we go. Just dig a little hole. Now I'm just going to, this is the withdrawal section which I'm looking at. I'm just going to put this in, and you have another pulse limiter there, and it's 223 if I'm correct on the repeaters. So you go 223, and you want to put a block there. That way the redstone will go through that block into the repeaters. Now I want to put another block there, and actually we want to put a repeater on 4 ticks there first, and you want to put block there and block there. Now torch there, there and there. Now this is where the Xbox version slightly differs. Here I'm going to put a slab. Here I'm going to put a slab and a dust there. The reason I've put the slab is because otherwise this redstone torch will affect this redstone on top of the slab. Now if you're on Xbox, you're going to want to make a way around this. One of the ways I use is by moving this torch onto this side and looping the wiring for this torch around a bit. Anyway, next point is you're going to want a repeater on 2 ticks there, and 2 blocks, and 2 dusts, and you'll want another block right here. Now once we put that block in, you want to this piston, which should extend. Perfect, because that is how that piston itself gets powered. Now, as you can see, this hasn't gone up. That's the reason, because we haven't put in the pistons, which we should have. There we go. Then place those back. Right, now, I'm getting stuck. You're going to want to put a block here, and then that torch will also affect this dust, which will also stick those up. Now you're going to want to put blocks like that, and repeaters on 4 ticks there, and then dust there, and 2 blocks. Lovely. Now pretty much we have to curl the wiring round and power the rest of the pistons. We haven't even put the pistons in yet. So I'm just building this little shape up to find out where that redstone torch needs to go. And then just patch up our ceiling and get a bit of a feel for where everything needs to go. Now, just build the tunnel for your door and put one up there because you don't have a piston there. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, there we go. Now you're going to want put a block there and your pistons, so that they will hold the blocks at the wall level when not extended. So just build an extra setup like that. There we go, and put a piston there. Lovely. Now powering time. The way I'm going to power this is first I'll put a block there, block there, block there. I'm just loop redstone round. Now due to pistons updating each other, you can get these two to fire at the same time, and then you can just have that looping round. Put pad of redstone there, more dust, and we want a torch there. I'm all over the place today. Now you're going to want a slab here. This is the second place on Xbox where you want to go round in a sort of little circle, rather than going vertically with these slabs. You can just sort of, it's pretty easy. You just need to go around. And there you go. You should have that all linked up now. So, next off is to hook up the pads. Now we're just going to break some blocks underneath them, so we can have full redstone underneath them. And I'll just hook that up to there. And what I usually do is I take the input to the input into the door to the pressure plates. So if I just, there we go. Now the input is here. I reckon I'll do this one because that one's more easy. More easy, does that make sense? I'm not sure if that makes any grammatical sense. But it's less tricky. You don't have to get your head around repeaters. And it's less resources. So there you go, that is your 3x3 door, all shoved in your wall, and now you can just patch up your holes like this, and you might want to put some torches down there to stop your pesky zombies spawning, and there you go. So I'm just going to make the little stuff around there, and I'll build up this wall so it doesn't look quite so retarded. Okay, and that's pretty much your 3x3 door done. It's all in working order. So I will finally get some of this going around, and I think this was a pretty good episode, if you ask me. We got everything I wanted to do done, and not too much faffing around. So that's it for today, but a new episode will be out very shortly, so look out for that. But otherwise, thank you for watching, good luck with the rest of your stations, and I'll see you next time.